go, do. Carry me they go. Anywhere better do. Carry me they go. Anywhere better do. Carry me they go. Solo socket. My God, carry me they go. Solo socket. My God, carry me they go. Le 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 le.
A beautiful afternoon to you once again. We are 23 minutes gone past 3 p.m. West African time, and it's still the 8th day in the month of September 2021. Don't forget to follow us on all our social media platforms, on Facebook at Lagoon Radio Nigeria, on Twitter and on Instagram at Lagoonradio.Ng. To listen to the live broadcast going on currently, don't forget to download the app on your Google Play Store or your Apple Store, and download the app on all of these platforms to listen to the live stream. You can also subscribe by following us on our YouTube channel, LagoonTV, and just subscribing to our news blog, Lagoon.News, for all of the entertainment gist that you might have missed during the course of the day. It's still that Family Matters show where we discuss everything pertaining to family issues just about now. Where we discuss everything pertaining to family issues just for you. In as much as you are a member of the family, yes, this show is for you, and this is where you should be. I have beautiful faces with me in the studio, and we're going to be doing the talking for today together. On the show last week, we discussed managing your finances and in uncertain times, and our guest, Mrs. Fadeke Adeoye, did justice to the subject of discussion. And on today's note, we have a beautiful and fresh topics for you. Like you can see, I have beautiful faces with me in the studio. We're going to be sharing their experiences on today's subject matter. My name is Olumakaiye, so I'll be going on a quick break, and when we get back, we'll be discussing what we have for you today. Don't go nowhere. It's still Lagoon Radio. Yes, welcome back. You are still listening to Family Matters with K. Yes, and on today's note, we'll be discussing on the topic, which is pressures on singles. Yes, we have so many single ladies out there, so many single guys, and there's one pressure or the other associated with getting married, getting settled down, and the life of you being moving from being single to being an adult. There's that pressure that comes from one part of the society, be it your family, among your friends, the rush for who is the first to take Ashwebi, and all of that conversation spurring up, or when are you getting married, when are they proposing to you, or do you even have someone that you're into? And all of these conversations have led so many young people to being depressed, and suicidal thoughts here and there, and all of those mind game questionings that they might ask themselves. Oh, why me? My friends are getting married, why is it not my turn? So things, the family is asking me questions, the church is even counting it for me. You have some certain family members asking you, at the age of 25, 26, you've not settled down, are you fine, is everything okay? And I'm like, why the rush? Yes, and that is what we'll be discussing on today's note on Family Matters. I have with me by my side my producer, Timileyin. She'll be assisting me on today's show. And in my front, I have Bera, I have Timileyin, and I have Bosse. Hello, Bera, how are you doing?
I'm fine, and you? Good afternoon.
Thank you. Good afternoon. Hi, Timileyin, how are you doing?
I'm fine. I'm well.
Good to hear. Bosse, how's the day going? Okay. Yeah. Great. Okay, so these are faces of singles, I suppose. Abby? Yes. So, and they'll be sharing their experiences with us on being single. So, because there's another thing if you're single and the pressures associated with it. So, I'd like Bera to share a single experience. How's it been like for you? Any pressure from friends? They're not pressure from marriage, but pressure from friends. How do you feel when, it's your birthday? Do you have a boyfriend? Okay, so how do you feel when it's your birthday and or other people's birthdays? What thoughts play in your head when you're in a couple of company of friends and she has a boyfriend on her own, and that boy shows up something, how do you feel? Nobody does parara for you, I know, right?
It does not actually get to me, to be very honest. It does not get to me. Because let me say, it's their life, is not my own. So I can't compare myself with them.
But do you wish? Do you usually, oh I wish, God, when?
Somebody we are humans, so we are bound to wish. We are humans. You want to, okay, at least let somebody throw you surprise party, give you gift, dash you money. It's part of it. We are humans. But it doesn't get, when I like being jealous, all those things, it doesn't really get to me.
Okay,
I
but
can't compare
in your mind,
my
you
life
pray
with-
that, God, my own son will come and be.
Everybody's turn will come.
You're not personalizing this thing.
Everybody's turn will come. My own time will come. Everybody's time will come. So
Okay, so moving on to Bosse, what's your view of being single? Bosse, what is your view?
On being single. I feel that being single is not a stigma
Yeah.
to me, because it's your life. I feel that when you're not ready for something, you don't go into it. And most people, they just want to go into relationship because of what their friend is benefiting from it, and not what they want. So I feel that when you are ready, just do what you want to do. And I don't feel pressurized by it, of being dating or having a boyfriend that will surprise you to do something, maybe on your birthday, surprise you. Yeah, so
That's amazing. Okay, what about you, Timilein?
Can you throw the question again?
I should throw it again. Okay, what's the pressure that comes with when your fellow friends, their girl, their babes, surprise them and then you don't have anybody, you're just on your own? What's that pressure like? What's that pressure that also comes with you not having anybody in certain universities and like things like that?
There's no pressure, because I feel if you want to date someone, it shouldn't be based on what you just want to get for the short period. It should be like a long. It should be like a lasting stuff for me. So I'm not even thinking of dating anybody yet.
And you're not pressured to. Your group of friends are not pressuring you.
They don't have babes, so there's no pressure.
Okay, I can relate.
jeez.
I can relate from that angle that, they don't have people. Now, coming to the societal pressure on singles. What does the society have to say? Coming from social media about you being single. What's that pressure that comes with it?
like you're supposed to be they have this like at a certain age. Maybe by the time you get into university, you're supposed to have a boyfriend, and everybody will be thinking, okay, she's entering university. That means by university, you'll be seeing wedding cards, IV. When you're done with university, you'll be seeing IVs up and down. Be seeing Ashwebi. Then we'll see date for wedding. That's what the society has actually painted. But I think that's actually what has affected most people to go into relationship that they can't even control or be.
So for you personally, if you're probably 25 and you've actually not even seen the right person, you're not ready, maybe it's still school, you have plans on taking your masters, and someone, okay, let's even assume your family member, your mom is already saying, Bera, when are you bringing some, how will you respond to this pressure from the family in particular?
Number one, first thing, I will actually make them to understand that, okay, you raised me, you did this, thank you, that's fine, but this is my life. Because they won't, when you pressurize somebody to do something and the person doesn't do it with their whole heart, they end up suffering the consequences. So when they keep pressurizing me to go into marriage and I'm not ready for it, I will suffer the consequences, not them.
Yeah.
So the best thing is either I will tell them I'm not ready, and if they keep, I just turn deaf ears.
Okay, when it comes to choices, Timilein, when to marry, who to marry? What factors affect your choices?
The first thing is character. Like, the first thing is character. Like, as long as I cannot keep up with this kind of character, and I can see in you that you are not ready. It has been your own, so you are not ready to change it, and it cannot change. I will just move away because I don't want to tell a story that will touch later.
You just move on, Abi.
Yes.
Yeah, you're going to say something.
Yeah. If the person and I don't have, he said,
What would be the pressure? Like what
motivates
What
you
is-
to
yeah.
get married or date someone?
we have similar perspective. I can boost you, you can boost me. No.
Boost yourself.
Iron sharpen iron. When
like
iron is sharpening iron.
yeah, something like that. When I'm down, you can like raise me or make me rise, or something like that. If I'm,
Nothing.
well, like we should be
That's
balanced.
your belief.
We should be balanced.
Yeah.
It's not like you're always wanting. Let it balance. You want
shouldn't
or
come from one side.
exactly. It should be one-sided.
Relationship.
Yeah. The normal stuff you must be fine and all those stuff. But like the inner stuff, it's mostly about personality. I don't like someone that's too loud.
Okay.
I can't keep up with that. I don't like making noise. So if you make too much noise or you like if you're like a repetitive person, you say one thing over and over again, different. You're wasting your time. It's not worth it. Yeah, that's all.
Okay, now what about you, Bosse? We had so many conversations on the judging your dream guy, judging your spec. What will be your qualities, or what will be the checklist for you for a guy?
For me, you have to have a great personality. You have to be God-fearing, and we have to be balanced. Me and you, you and I. Yes, we have to be have an understanding. But there has to be an understanding between me and you, so that it's not going to cause problem and stuff. And then that's it for me.
Okay, so coming to pressures from the church, in as much as you have a Sunday school teacher that raised you from Sunday school, you graduated to the choir, and you are now part of the backbenchers in the church. You just come like, oh, you didn't even grow up in that church. You just attend service and you're out, and older ones already, they are calculating your age on a steady. They are calculating your age every time for you, and you are 27. Oh, Bera, why are you getting married? What will you tell them?
First of all, it's not anybody's business.
Amazing. I like that.
To be honest, it's not actually anybody's business.
Okay.
I've said before that you raised me, or that you trained me, I was part of your this thing, doesn't actually determine your. You can maybe have an influence, but it's not a must that you now determine, okay, this is the age I'm going to get married.
Okay. So how
It's
will you
not
reply that, elder?
God's time is the best. God's time is the
God has
best.
not done it.
You don't want to be just an elder. You don't want to be rude. God's time is the best. That's what I would tell the person.
So in response to your mom, what response will you give her?
Mommy, when I'm ready, I'll let you know. When I'm ready, I'll let you know.
So what if you get to? I'm going to be asking Timothy. What if you get to make the decision that, oh, marriage is not for everyone? Hope we know.
Yeah.
Yes.
And you tell your mom, oh, in fact, at this point, I don't dig this. I'm not interested.
My mom will shout. She will shout. She will say, Timmy, Kilonru, what are you thinking about? This is your life. Who carry on this pain name?
I know, right?
as the name is fine like this, oh, carry the name, all those things. But like I said, it's not everybody that is opportune to marry. You can have a child. That's not a problem.
That's true.
But like, it's not by force to like chain yourself with the bounds of marriage. It's not. I don't think everybody has their own idea of how they should live their life, Sha. But me, I'm going to get married though, so my mom will not shout at me.
Oh, so are you going to be doing that for your mom?
No, for myself.
Okay. Boss, over to you.
I feel that when we get to the bridge, we'll know how to cross. Yes, because anything can happen, yes. I can't say I'm going to get married and maybe in the next, let me just say 5 years, and I don't feel like getting married again. When we get there, we'll know what to do. But I want to get married, yeah. I want to have my own family.
Amazing. Okay, what happens if you're in a situation whereby the person you actually brought for consent to your parents, your mom is rejecting it? Your mom rejecting the person you brought for consent. Well, you are like probably you brought 2 people. Like you're literally tired. Like
Kokoima.
no, but you definitely will not go. You
2 people at the same time.
No, not
No,
at the
not
same
at the
time.
same
Probably
time.
different
Like, you brought
times.
someone
And they've
before.
rejected it. You know, they say these things that what an elder can see while sitting, a child cannot see it, even as much as you
Understanding,
stretch. And
yes.
but if you've done this, definitely, I'm definitely tired as well. But what will you do? Will you back out? Will you say, "Oh, I'm going against my will"? Is what is in my mind that I will do? What will you do at that point? How will you handle the situation? Because it's obviously a pressure.
Yeah.
So how will you handle the situation?
I'll try and understand from their perspective.
But you know, love is blind, though.
I know now. I'll try and understand from their perspective. But if like the thing is, if their like, perspective is not even valid enough, or it does not make sense, then it does not make sense.
It's not valid. There's no tenable
There's
reason.
no balance or whatever. Last
You do it at the back of them. You
no,
hire
there's
mommy
this
and
thing
daddy.
here now. There's what they call it, registry.
Registry.
Yeah, we'll do it. I'll tell them that okay. Last I'll just do a court marriage. I don't have to do traditional or church marriage. I'll just do my registry. That should be.
But do you know that because of that, your family can actually hate your wife?
They don't have to see her.
No,
You don't have to see her.
you know, actually,
No.
when you want to get married, your parents' blessings is very
very important,
very
yes.
important.
Yeah, it's very important.
And if they don't, if like a situation, if they don't accept your spouse or your husband or wife to be, I think the best option to do is to actually convince them, make them see it from your own perspective. And if they don't, then pray about it and continue convincing them for God to touch their heart. Because if you go behind their back and get married, I believe that marriage will not last.
Wow.
There's always going to be an issue because you didn't get your parents' blessing. There's always going to be an issue, even when there's no issue. One issue will come up from one place.
For me, I feel that before I bring my own the person that I'm dating to my parents, I'll pray about it. Tell God that is this person right for me, and you have to give me an answer if it's true. If God has given me the answer that yes, it's true, then
Nobody can stop you.
Unstoppable. Amazing.
That's what it is.
Amazing, yes. So we'll be going on a quick break, and when we get back, we'll be unfolding on more single experiences on the pressures associated with marriage. Don't go nowhere. You've been listening to Bera, Timileyin, Bosse, and I on the conversation for today because it's still Family Matters with K.
You are listening to Lagoon Radio.
Welcome back. You're still listening to Lagoon Radio, your number one online radio station in Nigeria. Yeah, we're a few minutes close to 4 p.m. West African time, but we are still on to Family Matters show where we discuss all of the trending issues and family related issues just for you. And on this note, we've been discussing on the pressures associated with being single. And we have a comment from Facebook which says that from Prophet Moses, it says, what do you mean when you say need to marry and need to settle down? Yes, these are two different words that are used interchangeably, and there's a clarification to it, because there's a need to marry which is associated with pressure, and there's a need to settle down. When you're settling down, it's like, oh, okay, you're making the choice to say, oh, I want to get married. But when the need to marry is, oh, I need somebody, okay, we have to do this. These are preparations in the line. So I feel like that's the clarification to need to settle down. Settle down is just the mental alertness that, oh, yes, it is time. It is time for me to say, oh, this is the girl, this is whoever she is. So it's just a word used interchangeably for each other. Or what do you feel? Any other opinion? Not at all. So I guess we are all on the right track. We are still going to be expecting other comments in our comment section, and awaiting people to join us and drop comments and also enjoy the program while it's going on. So since we are still discussing on pressures from on singles, we have people that have to do with. So how will you advise a single lady? She's of age. How will you advise her to deal with depression as a result of not even seeing a spouse, or searching after waiting? There are some ladies that they have money. They're just looking for the man. So how will you advise a lady like you on how to just stay out of being depressed from this marital situation?
I think it first has to do with her mental state.
Okay.
I'm not a therapist. So if she's going into depression, I can just talk to her and then advise her that it's not to some people, marriage is actually personal.
It's a big deal.
Very, very personal to some people. So I don't know how she sees marriage. Well, I think what I can actually do is to actually pray for her and then pray for her and then maybe advise her to see a therapist or talk to somebody she's very comfortable with and she can trust, and that would actually give her good advice.
What about you, Timileyin boy?
I don't.
Or what advice would you give to your fellow guy in the same situation?
Oh. Don't overthink.
Exactly.
Don't overthink. That is what leads to the spiral of depression and all of those stuff. So don't just overthink. Your time is your time. God's time is God's time.
Very
They will
important.
meet at some point. They'll meet at some point. So if you are sure depressed, go and meet a therapist. I don't think I'm that good at giving people advices.
But yes, the main thing was that don't overthink. Marriage is not. It's not fine. It's a goal. It's something that everyone wants and hopes to see. But then it should not be. Should not be a limit. You should not say, oh, because as a guy and a girl, you have times that you've planned for yourself. You have, oh, I don't know if I'm the only one that tells myself, oh, at 27 I want to do this, at 28 I want to have done this, and you're finding that things are not working according to your plan. So at that point, it's best for you to calm down, rethink, re-strategize. There are several ways to go about it. If you plan on marrying at 25 and it's not working, who says you cannot have a perfect marriage at 27 or at 30? So, and the thing we call marriage is not a game. It's not a game. It's not advisable to rush into marriage and rush out. Like they say, marriage is a blind market, and you really don't know who you are going for at that particular point. So if you go on pressure, if you go into it while rushing, you really might not get the right person. And the person you might even get may just be after your personal gain or what you have. That's if you are really wealthy. You never really see someone that is after genuine love. So it's very important that anyone going into marriage, like, shine your eyes. Like the way this big brother team is shine your eyes, open your eyes very well for you to see the right person. And do not overthink, because overthinking leads to a series of depression, suicidal thoughts. Why don't I have somebody? Especially ladies, we have this feeling when it comes to surprises, because everyone likes surprises. Oh, let them do parara for me. And we don't have that body to carry it when you don't have someone to surprise on your birthday. Or someone like, if you have a lot of wish list causes a lot of depression. Honestly, if you have a lot of wish list and hopefully you are praying in your mind that something will happen aside the regular cake, you're expecting gifts from friends, gifts from opposite sex and all of that, and you eventually do not even get anything. That feeling alone is like, why is no one showing me love? Why is no one getting anything from me? But then all of these things are because your mindset is crafted to that particular thing, that you've painted that particular day as what it should be. It's like someone who wants to get married and has painted the wedding gown, and you meet your future husband and he says, I cannot afford what you've painted. Like, you want a big wedding, and you meet someone that is like, let's just take it slowly, soft and everything. Exactly. So it's best that you take your time in the choice of marriage. And finally, before we call it a wrap on today's episode of Family Matters with K, we'll be discussing, and I'll be throwing questions to my guests on how to face the pressure itself from social media, generally from family. We've talked about it. But then, just on a final note, what will be your final advice for young people who are in the business of I must have a boyfriend? I must. There are some people that it's a must, like a goal. If someone breaks up with them, they must get into another relationship. And they don't even have purpose at the end of the day. You're just beating around the bush, moving from one guy to the other and all of that. So what's your advice for them, Vera?
Getting a boyfriend is not an achievement.
Exactly.
To me. To some people, it's an achievement too.
It's a big deal.
But the truth is that it's not even an achievement. If you have, you have like scale of preference, and you put getting a boyfriend as number one, then you need to tear that paper because you've not really actually sat down and thought about what you want to do with your life. If getting a boyfriend is your number one goal, then I think at this point you need deliverance.
Okay, Simile, you have something to say?
So I've witnessed some people, like their parents say, okay, you're already 21, or like you're in your early 20s. Female.
Mm-hmm.
You're in your early 20s. So before 24.
Have a boyfriend.
No, not even boyfriend. Husband.
Wow.
The husband, it's not even someone you start with when they're like nothing or beginning to be something. It's someone that's already rich. And you yourself, the person that they're advising, you might be someone that's goal driven or not.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, the person I'm talking about is goal driven. So you're telling that person, before 24, go and get a husband. And you're like, the person's parents, what is the person meant to think of you? It does not make sense, because the person has plans already. Maybe their plans of like education is going to be like till 26. And you're telling the person to go and get married when the person is 24. The person does not even, if he comes, he comes. So like forcing, it's not worth it. Don't force it to happen when it wants to happen. Love will happen when love wants to happen. Think about money. Follow your goals first. That's my advice. When it happens, it's going to happen. But like your own, the things that will give you happiness first. Minding another person's life, or like being involved in another person, means you're also taking responsibility of that person. You not take responsibility of your own self, and you not take responsibility of another person. That's too much load for you. So achieve your own goals first, then you can start thinking of, okay, I want to get a boyfriend, I want to get married. That's one.
Okay, sorry to cut you. You're about saying something, but then talking about goals, what are the goals you want to have achieved before the word marriage sets in for you personally?
I want to be able to provide for my wife and my future kids. I can have my wife when I see that okay things are already getting green. Then I can have my children because I know
No rage.
plans already set in motion that I'll be able to achieve this before my children are this, so I can provide. I need to be able to provide not even only for my family but for myself, my family members, everybody in my family. I want to be able to create a foundation, send people to schools, not only people that I know, but I want other people to enjoy from me. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I want other people to be able to enjoy from me and say, "Oh, almost Spain lo share. Spain did this. Spain did that." I don't have to get the credit or anything, no. But like, I want to be able to help people and say, "Ajelo omo get from his
Before
pocket."
you got married.
Yeah.
Amazing. So talking to you, Bosse, what will you do to change your mom's mindset of saying, Bosse, when will you bring your husband at age? To change that stereotype, because many Nigerian parents are fond of saying these things, using it against young people, singles, and they don't know that personally, if I'm 25, what I'm thinking is not marriage. I'm thinking work. I'm thinking other things in my head. Marriage is the least. So how will you advise, or what would be your advice to parents to change this stereotype of questions at that particular age?
If it were my mom, I'll tell her that I'll sit her down, we'll talk, and I'll be like, "Mommy, do you want to kill me before my time? You don't want to kill me before my time, so just give me time, give me the space. Let me think of it. I don't want to bring any man to your house that will cause problems. So I just feel that parents should give their parent time. Yeah.
Parents should give their
Enough
children
time.
ample time. Yes.
And they should pray for them.
Exactly. That is the most important thing. While you are
them.
chasing them to bring spouses, try to encourage them in prayer, because selection process matters a lot at that particular point in time. And give them time. Marriage is not something that you rush into and rush out. So give them time to make their choices carefully and with due diligence. Finally, to you. No, okay, I still have to remember I said. Finally, Bera, what are the things that you want to have achieved as a lady before the word marriage sets in?
School, done with school, masters. Have my own business, work. That's for like material things. Have my own car. And have a lot of let's say business. Create impact. Then before I get married, I think I was actually even want to think again whether I'm ready to start a journey with a stranger. Because it's different from family member. This one,
Exactly.
it's a stranger. You have to sit down whether you're ready to, because it's a life journey. It doesn't end. It's a life journey. Whether you're ready to start a business, start a journey with a total stranger.
Okay, and on this note, because of our time, we are running so fast like the speed of light, and we have quite a lot to cover, but then we just have to call it a wrap here and now on today's episode of the Family Matters with K show. Today, trust you had a beautiful time staying with us, and trust you learnt a lot, because it's not all pressures as a single person that you conform to. We have marital pressures, we have educational pressures, we have social pressures from social media and all of that, but then it's not everything you should conform to as an individual, as a young person. There are ways that you should still be stiff. When it comes to educational pressures, know your priorities, set your scale of preference for yourself. Okay, this is what I want to achieve, and give yourself ample time to see that all your achievements are met before welcoming a stranger, like Bera said, to your life, and before the marriage thoughts begin to set in. And at the end of the day, I hope you had a nice time. Thanks for joining me, Bera, Timilanes, and Bosse on the show today. It's been an amazing time and an amazing moment with you. Join me same time next week, Wednesday, from the hours of 3:20 to 4 p.m. for another beautiful episode of the Family Matters with K show. If you have questions, make sure you drop them on our social media platform, on Facebook at Lagoon Radio Nigeria, Twitter, and on Instagram at Lagoonradio.Ng. On the show next week, we will revisit them and take all answers to your questions. Do well to have a good evening. My name is Olumakaiye.